Welcome back to the Skyfall Sessions. Let's go over David Pakman breaking down Kamala's proposal to finally legalize marijuana.
Kamala Harris has made history on the critical issue of cannabis legalization, and Donald Trump doesn't know how to handle it, and he is crashing out. Kamala Harris is
a little bit of audio quality issues on David's side, but usually it's pretty good. I think it's just a one-off thing. But anyways,
running now to Joe Biden's left on cannabis. Joe Biden expressing support for decriminalization.
Now, if you understand really quick what he's breaking down, there is the issue of the right, center, and left, and there are people could be more right, more center, or more left on any particular issue. What David's saying is that Kamala's stance on weed on this is the furthest left ever.
Kamala Harris is now straight up saying we should legalize. This is the furthest left major party nominee when it comes to cannabis ever. You might not.
Yeah. And the funny thing is it's very interesting because obviously in her history, she was kind of vilified for pitting people away for drug-related crimes. But there are, I'll give you the details on that as well, because there's a little bit of misleading. There's some misleading factors there, some misleading statistics there. But I'll help clarify that so you guys have full understanding.
You might not think she'll get it done. You might claim she flip-flopped and she did change her opinion, and I will talk about that in a moment. But this is Kamala Harris staking out the furthest left position on this issue we've ever seen.
Oh, cannabis?
What are your views on cannabis?
I just feel strongly people should not be going to jail for smoking weed. And we know...
Which is very interesting because she used to literally put people in jail for smoking weed.
Historically, what that has meant and who has gone to jail.
Mm-hmm.
Second...
I want to clarify. It's okay to change her mind. I don't think that she's wrong for changing her mind here.
I just think we have come to a point where we have to understand that we need to legalize it and stop criminalizing this behavior. And I've actually, this is not a new position for me. I have felt for a long time we need to legalize it. So that's where I am on that.
I'm pretty sure David's going to say something about this, but I'm going to say something about it too. It's so funny that she said it's not a new issue for me, and yet in the past she did the complete opposite,
now,
but I digress.
What does it mean that she has felt this for a long time? It is absolutely true that there are videos of her being asked, what about legalization? And she said, no, I don't agree with that. And she is getting attacked because she used to have a different position. But she did ultimately come to the correct position. This is like the people who said during President Obama's presidency, at one point he was against legal gay marriage.
Yep. And here's the thing. If we cannot grow in our mindset, if we cannot change our minds, then we really can't
that's
do
true.
Much of
At
anything.
one point he was against legal gay marriage. And he eventually came around to the right position, in particular at a time where his opinion mattered the most. So I'm with you that Kamala Harris had the wrong view on this issue at one point. I mean, yeah, that's true. And she did change her position. But if she hadn't changed her position, the very same people would be saying, she's against legalization. Well, do you want her?
I think people's lack of ability to change their position on any particular issue because of their hubris, lack of humility, narcissism, they've been giving a platform or a pedestal that they shouldn't have had. I think that single reason will be the downfall of the world eventually, because people will straight up ignore facts for the sake of wanting to be right and not wanting to feel like, oh, I was wrong at some point. It's okay to be wrong and change your mind.
To continue having the wrong position so that you attack her for that? Or do you want her to change her mind to the correct position and then you attack her for changing her mind? Her position right now as the presidential candidate for the Democratic Party in 2024 is she supports the legalization of cannabis. We have never had a major party nominee with that position. Now, Trump is desperate to jump into this. He realizes it's potentially yet another winning issue for Kamala Harris, especially among young people. And so he posted.
It's so funny. Like, guys, I know you guys, everybody's like, oh, the election's close and there's going to be this many millions of people voting for Trump. Guys, I don't think it's going to be close at all. I think Trump is floundering in every way possible. I think this is like a wrap, like big time. Maybe before when Biden was in, yeah, I think Trump was definitely going to defeat him. But now it's like completely the opposite.
With regard to an amendment in Florida, quote, as I have previously stated, I believe it is time to end needless arrests and incarcerations of adults for small amounts of marijuana for personal use. We must also implement smart regulations while providing access for adults to safe, tested product. As a Floridian, I will be voting yes on Amendment 3 this November. As president, we will continue to focus on research to unlock the medical uses of marijuana to a Schedule 3 drug and work with Congress to pass common sense laws, including safe banking for state-authorized companies and supporting states' rights to pass marijuana laws, like in Florida, that work so well for their citizens. So
It is so obvious that Trump did not write that. When have you ever heard him speak that coherently about
Trump is
literally
jumping
anything?
in and saying, we're going to fix a lot of the littler problems. I'm not for federal legalization, but I want to respect states who decide that that's what they want to do. Now, obviously, Trump didn't write this statement. We know that when Trump writes truths.
And just for clarification, not being for federal legalization is a very right-wing perspective. Historically, it's very right-wing. So it's a little left for him to even be talking about, hey, let's give the states the opportunity, historically. But in terms of like in 2024, it's a right-wing
They are
position.
mostly caps, random capital letters, exclamation points all over the place, and usually ad hominems and personal attacks. So Trump posted this, but someone else wrote it for him. But even Trump now is being pushed to the left by the fact that Harris is saying, I'm for legalization, period. I think that this is a great thing. She's come around to the right position, and we will see where it lands.
And now, if he were to go back and say, oh, well, now I want to legalize it, then that would look not great. That won't look great in his eyes. It'll look like he's just, again, floundering and following.
She gets that
after
opportunity.
Okay, so let's break down some numbers in reference to marijuana. So she did arrest or convict roughly 1,900 people during her time from 2011 to 2016 for marijuana-related offenses. However, it should be noted that when you look at these offenses, marijuana was involved, but it wasn't about marijuana. They definitely prioritized more serious offenses over low-level marijuana cases, according to KCRW News and AFP fact check. These numbers did change while she was in office. By 2016, she had only incarcerated 137 people for marijuana-related offenses, which was a relatively steep drop. She also did the California Public Safety Realignment Act, which basically said that it sent non-violent drug offenders, including low-level marijuana offenders, to county jails rather than state prisons. And this is all during her time as a DA from 2011 to 2016. This is the DA of California. Also, it should be noted that she came out in support of the legalization of marijuana back in 2018. So it has been her stance for at least 6 years. Anyways, I think you get the gist of what I'm saying. It's not unreasonable for Kamala to be in support of marijuana, and she is definitely the furthest left on this issue than anybody in the past, according to David Pakman, and just the history of politics, really. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. Check me out, Skyfall Sessions, if you can. Like and subscribe. Help me get some more, help me reach more people. Thanks.